You watch a stream.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
true.
mean, to be honest, you can pretty much always see what I'm playing because I pretty much always play on stream. But I played a couple indie games. I played through all of RoboScape from start to finish. It's one of those games that's pretty short, but you kind of just like try to do a little bit better each time. My first run through was a little bit over an hour. I was playing this game called 80s Overdrive. It's kind of like the game Outrun for Sega Genesis if there was like more of like an objective and like long-term goal other than just like drive. I played this game called Undefeated, another indie game. It's kind of like a Superman style superhero game. That one's free to play. Postal 2, we did some Postal 2 co-op actually. Me, Zach, John, and Mark were playing Postal 2 this week. Picked it up for well, a couple of them picked it up while it was on sale on Steam for 99 cents during the winter sale, which I think is still going on.
Till the 5th, I think.
Yeah, and then I played Art of Rally, which is like it's kind of like a game, basically just about driving. It looks like it's like deceptively simple. Like it looks like it'd be easy, but it's actually like really hard to control. You're drifting around corners and stuff. I played some Grand Theft Auto 5, Grand Theft Auto Advance for the first time ever. The Game Boy Advance port of GTA. I kind of kept like track this week, and then Legend of Zelda. I got into again Ocarina of Time. I was kind of backseat gaming while John did some randomizer, and which kind of inspired me to mess around with some of the mods for the N64 version of Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time and some Minecraft. I built a little 2021 Happy New Year monument in the Minecraft server. So a lot this week. Definitely a lot of gaming this week.
Where?
Sounds very, very.
Yeah, my man had the controller in his hand for a hot minute.
Yeah, you can catch all of that on the stream,
Yeah,
so.
putting in hours. Oh, and I do want to give you props today. Nice stream. You had it. Too bad we didn't get a hype train going for you, but you were on your way.
Yeah, that was definitely. I was doing Roblox earlier today, and I got up to 23 viewers at one point simultaneously.
Whew.
Yeah, just on Twitch, so
Nice.
popping.
Hog jump.
Pop it. Nice.
Hell yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
So what's this free game a day from Epic? What's the free game?
Oh, so they were doing the Christmas thing. They were doing a free game a day, like every 24 hours you could go back to the Epic Game Store and kind of like check out what it was. There was like mostly like I would say like AA games on there. This like there wasn't a lot of like AAA like major titles on there. There was that
And
leaked
that's on-
list.
And that's over. That's Kaputski.
Yeah, unfortunately. The last game is still available for free through the 7th, though. So if you haven't picked it up yet, you can grab Jurassic World Evolution for free or something like that, I think it's called. And it's normally a $45 game. I think it's like a real-time strategy, like overhead kind of clicker game. But I guess I don't
It's
know
like a
for
tycoon.
sure.
It's like a tycoon game.
Yeah, like a Roller Coaster Tycoon, Age of Empires type game.
Yeah. You build your own like Jurassic World Park, which is pretty poggers.
That's kind of sweet.
There was that one leaked list of the free games that was fake, and then there was that one leaked list that was real.
Yeah.
So
I like the fake one a lot better than the real one.
yeah, the fake list was a
yeah.
lot more optimistic than the real one. Dying Light, Borderlands 3,
Witcher.
Witcher, yeah, a bunch of games that weren't on Epic, but they've done that in the past where they'll add it to Epic right as they start giving it away for free. But it was like the combined price of that list was like a few $100, like where the combined price of the list that they actually gave out is probably like $150, something like that, like altogether for the 15 days. So it was definitely solid, and like I said, you can still grab the last one, and they always are doing like usually it's like every 2 weeks there's a free game or something like that. So there's always something going on with that.
Word.
That's true.
What's the next one? Does anybody know off the top of their head?
No.
Negative.
No clue.
Negatory.
I check real
Once
quick.
the
You
fake list
weirdly.
that we first looked at was wrong,
weirdly,
I kind of just bounced.
Sorry, John.
True. The wrong one was a lot better than the real one. Big sad.
Weirdly, what, Mark?
Oh no, I was messing around on some Blizzard and jumping around over there and playing some of the older stuff and like some Hearthstone and That was pretty crazy.
It's been a minute for Hearthstone. Yeah, I haven't heard anyone talk about it in a while.
Well, like Epic and Blizzard and whatnot. I've just been sticking more to the Blizzard side these days as opposed to the Epic side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I honestly haven't really bought anything off Epic Game Store. Like, especially like, I like should have tried to get people to pick up their copy of Cyberpunk on the Epic Game Store, and use my code or whatever. But like, even I didn't buy it on there, so it's like I'm not gonna push other people to do something that even I didn't do.
Yeah.
But so the Epic Game Store, I pretty much only use it for the free games, and I'm not ashamed to admit it, unfortunately.
So PS2, there's some rumors.
Oh yeah, there was a leak. I remember a leak of some kind of where there was going to be like a PS2 themed PS5.
It's the 20th anniversary
yes.
of the PS2 launch.
Yeah, it's gonna be all black.
Yeah, it actually did look pretty cool.
John's feeling it.
I would probably get that.
Dude, I kept saying when they released the white, when they showed off the white PS5, a black one would look so sick, and it really does.
With the black controller and everything, yeah.
Well, you guys know D-Brand, the skin company?
Yeah.
So D-Brand is going to be selling custom shells for the PS5 that you could just be able to clip on. They've already actually
that's so sick.
They actually challenged Sony to take them to court over it because I think the last two companies who said they were going to sell custom shells and like started taking pre-orders got shut down by Sony with like cease and desist letters and stuff. And then DHgate was like so confident that they would have no problem doing it that they challenged Sony to take them to court. And the only reason they're not taking pre-orders yet, as far as I know, is because they're waiting until they have stock in North America. So they're still in production right now.
That's
One thing real quickly, I'm sorry. One thing about the PS2, PS5 that I really want to see out of it is that little turnable logo,
the badge
that they had on the OG PS2. I think that would just be like a nice little touch. And I know PlayStation's always been really good at keeping that like nostalgic, fanboy touch.
They did also too for the 20th anniversary of the PS1. They did the limited edition PS4.
And I'm expecting them to probably do one of those million count ones at some point with the PS5s. They've done that with every PlayStation pretty much all the way across. Whether it be like 20 million, 2 million, 5 million.
100 million.
Who knows?
Yeah, the PS2 one, I think it's just a rumor right now. I don't know if like Sony's confirmed or like waited on it, but like it'll be dope to see what they do because I'm expecting them to do something for the 20th anniversary of the PS2.
Yeah. And they did that PS1 themed PS4.
Yeah, so I mean it's kind of like the logical move, but I feel like would they do a limited edition before they can even keep up with demand like for getting regular remakes in people's hands?
That's a good point.
So maybe, but we'll see. Maybe they end up doing like they bring back a bunch of PS2 classics to the store en masse or something like that. But I don't know.
A couple remastered games.
That'd be cool. Even like I don't know. They've already remastered a lot of like the PS2's like must-play games, like Eco, Shadow of the Colossus, and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas has been re-released a million times and stuff like that. So it's like a lot of the PS2 games that you'd want to play. The top 10 are probably playable on newer systems anyway.
Yeah. What else? So me and John played that new VR game today, the Population 1.
Yeah,
let's
Population
hear about that.
1.
Honestly, amazing for a battle royale game.
When I first saw it, it was like probably a month ago. It came out in October of 2020. I saw like an ad on Facebook. It's an Oculus, made for Oculus game. Full open from the ground up battle royale, designed for like smoothness and easy to play. It seems like, it has like similar mechanics to any other VR game, climbing, holding on to things, flying around or whatever. But it makes it like simple for it to be like done on the fly. So like climbing typically is like a grip, and if you miss the grip, you fall. This one you can sink your hand all the way in the wall and grip and pull up.
Almost like if the wall was almost if the wall was just made out of Play-Doh, you could just like.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, essentially.
You also don't
Um,
fall instantly, so if you let go, you don't like boom. You can like
Yeah.
swing yourself up.
That
Which
sound effect was 1,000% necessary, by the way.
And you gotta like T-pose to fly around. You kind of feel like an eagle because you tilt your arms like this to fly back and forth on your parachute.
Now you were saying you
Right.
could do that with a gun in your hand though. Like how would you do that?
One arm like this, and you're roaming around like this. Da, 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 da.
It's so weird.
You have to switch off your gun to have it off your hand to keep going back to climbing, but you can switch it back on while you hold on with one hand. So you could be all the way up in a tower and, sniping down with a single-armed rifle. Um, it seems like we've only played like 5 or 6 matches, or I don't even know, but we had a whole lot of fun already. I'm ready to
We
go back
did.
and play it.
Same.
Have you done
Honestly.
any sniping with it? In
Oof.
it, I should say?
Yes. So the sniping is kind of interesting. Usually in VR, when you like pull up the rifle, you're actually looking through like a scope that kind of like
Mhm.
magnifies right there. This one, when you like pull it up with both hands, your whole screen goes black except for the circle, and you see the circle move around like this. And you aim with like more your head than your arms at that time. It feels like. It feels a little
Interesting.
bit better. I definitely have to say it feels more like you're closed off, that one eye closed type thing.
Hmm. I was gonna
Um,
say because in Cold War or something, you're moving around a little bit here and there, and I didn't know how physical inputs
oh
would
my god,
change
dude.
that.
I don't know about Zach, but at least in Pavlov, I've definitely gotten into some sweaty lobbies, and sometimes the
Yeah.
shakes, man. When I'm aiming, my gun will shake real bad, and
Yeah.
that little bit of motion is enough to throw off the bullet on at least Pavlov. Um,
Hmm.
I would assume the same with this game. I haven't gotten super sweaty yet, but
And that's why in Pavlov, when I get a gun, I go straight to their face like that. Because then I can't miss.
yeah, you get real fucking shaky sometime, dude. You'll be like crouching down, panting, like trying to fucking get around the corner. Like, dude, this guy's about to
True.
fucking kill me. Um,
Oh, it's
but
insane.
yeah, VR is pretty crazy. I'm really
And the
happy that's a nice
skins,
battle
the
royale.
skins in Population 1 are actually pretty nice as well.
Free battle pass as well. Like a first battle royale I've seen with like a free battle pass.
Well,
Yeah.
what's that one? Fall Guys.
Fall Guys has it, yeah.
That's true, Fall Guys. But it's like a nice touch, because you're
Yeah.
always like kind of just working for it.
Yeah, free cosmetics is nice. I mean, I'd rather have stuff for free than be like a bacon head. Like forced to be a noob skin. Like
They do seem to have like cycled paid cosmetics as well. From maybe previous battle royales. Like I said, this came out, or previous like seasons. This came out in October. And those are like tokens you have to buy. But those tokens you can get pretty easily just by doing your daily challenges type stuff. So it seems like it mostly is free to play. So it just feels good.
I don't even think they're daily challenges. I think they just update as soon as you do them. Because I've not run out of them yet.
Yeah, neither have I.
I think they just change every time you complete them.
you said, that's when you can play not in VR, or that's one that's only for VR.
VR.
That is one that's only for VR. That's like it's super intuitive in VR, and most games that are VR and PC aren't very well made in VR. They're more focused on like the PC player, or they're not as well made in PC and better in VR. And so this one's like super well done in VR, made from the ground up for it. It seems like,
I was watching you
Yeah.
guys earlier. It looked like a lot of fun.
and it runs smooth.
It did.
Being
It, you know, it was a little, obviously a little light in the graphics area, but you guys like it. I was a little jealous. I was like, man, that looks like a good time. You know what I mean? You
It's
guys
fun.
were out there murdering it. It was dope. It was really cool to watch. You know what I mean? Just to see the evolution and the first person shooters. And I've played Pavlov, and I get the whole shake. The whole shake thing is vicious.
Were you guys streaming it earlier?
They
in
were.
Discord.
Into the Discord.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was good. It was fun to watch them.
We all mentioned that we played a bit of Postal 2 this week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Interesting
so
game to say the least.
That was my
who's
first
never
time
played
playing
it
it.
before? So
Me.
who here has never played it before? So we got Cabbage Cartman and Marky Freeway. What's your two opinion on the game since you've never played it?
John, you want to go first?
Dude, the first thing Luke did was piss on me. Dude, that's the honestly, goofy game. It doesn't feel like if I was in there by myself, I would figure it out right away. I'd probably like fuck up like 4 times. Sorry, pardon me. Uh, and so it was really nice to have everybody there and kind of like guide along the way. So we could all kill people, just have fun and kill people, but there was still like progression to it still.
Oh, by the way, I just want to mention this is with the co-op mod
Nick's
Yeah.
co-op.
installed. Yeah,
Nick's Coop.
which is free. Which is free. You do get with the game.
Yeah, you grab it free from the Steam Workshop, and then you can use something like Hamachi to do like a LAN through the internet, and then set up like a private match.
Which it
Exactly.
wasn't. It's actually a lot easier than it sounds. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? We walked through it pretty easily.
Within
Yeah.
like half an hour.
Yeah, it wasn't
Mark,
too bad.
Did you give your thoughts on the game?
No. So I was kind of pre-warned by you guys about the game, and I think it's absolutely hilarious. It's a lot of fun. Like, I kind of want to slow down a little bit as opposed to just jump right in the adventure and kind of like check things out a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was on fire and you yelled at me, you have to pee straight up so you piss on yourself. Like, to put the fire out, like, the game earned buku points with me. It's just ridiculous and heinous, and I love that. You know what I mean? That's I totally get off on things like that. It was just ridiculous. And then like you're getting shot by protesters just like as you walk by.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty gangster game, man. Like it's definitely not for the faint of heart.
Yeah, it came out back in 2003, and the like fluid physics in it are pretty like solid for like the era. Because like when you pee, like if you pay attention, it'll puddle up and like roll downhill. And then like if you pee on the pedestrians, they'll start throwing up, and like the same thing will happen with the vomit. And then blood, same thing. Like if you cut somebody's head off and they start spurting blood, it'll kind of pool up or roll downhill depending on like what kind of geography you're on. So way ahead of its
making
time in that
headless
regard.
people- Yeah, making headless people was pretty ridiculous.
Oh, and then you
Now,
can like
Mark-
whack their heads around with the baseball bats and stuff. Like,
Well, and
Dude, it's like, "Twing."
for its time, to add to that, for its time, what's cool is you can do a lot. Like, so Luke and I were trapped in a room, and then like we were getting like bombarded by like the protesters, and they were trying to kill us. And I thought it'd be clever to like throw gasoline and then light the match.
Mhm.
And what's cool is that you actually have that capability. You know what I mean? Like even back then, lighting the match, actually doing that action. That's a lot. You know what I mean? That's a lot to write. That's a cool thing though, that you could in that open space literally do kind of what you would do in like real life. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like if
I mean, to add to that, Grand Theft Auto didn't even do pouring gasoline until GTA 5. Like, San Andreas didn't have that, 4 didn't have that. So back in 2003, when GTA 3 was basically the only one out at that point, for that game to have the fluid mechanics again for the gasoline and then the matches and stuff, and then too, you doing that in that moment did not work out well.
no,
Like,
it murdered us.
Yeah.
We died.
everyone
all
lit on
in a
fire.
fiery death.
Yeah.
But it was cool because the fire actually spread where the
Mhm.
gasoline went. Because you would just think that you're like, I threw it in one space. It's only going to be in that space. That space is going to be the space that lights up on fire.
Yeah.
And no, it actually spreads, and then you're on fire, and then you're running around, so it spreads because you're on fire.
And then we're
running
pissing
around.
on everything because we got to put the fire out.
And I'm still learning the button. I'm like, wait, how do you piss on yourself? Wait,
Yeah.
what? I gotta look
You
up.
got to hit R. Look up.
That shit it's ridiculous. I'm sitting here in this room screaming, how do I pee on myself?
Yeah.
If my neighbors could only hear me.
As
Now,
a
They've
Mark,
heard
uh,
worse,
last-
Mark.
Last week, Mark, you were saying you really enjoyed Duke Nukem back in the day when you first played it and everything. How does that compare to this, compared to like the first feeling playing it?
For a Portal or your game?
for Postal.
For
Or
Postal.
Postal, that's what I meant. Postal. There's similarities. I see some similarities, like kind of with the structuring, but honestly, this game does, I think, a little bit better. You know what I mean? As far as mechanics wise, and like your free ability to move amongst the environment,
Mhm.
like the ability to affect the environment. And Duke Nukem, you can't do that. So like in Duke Nukem 3D, you could kind of like you could walk up to the stripper on the stripper pole and you could give her $1 and you'd be like, shake it, baby. And then like she would, you know what I mean? And then you'd see like your pixelated, VGA color, chick dancing, whatever. But to like, again, the gasoline or the effect on the head after the fact. Right. So like, I think you get a lot more interaction in that regard. Duke Nukem still fantastic though.
Yeah, cult classic. Absolutely, the grunginess between the two definitely like that's what draw that correlation. It was like that like grunginess, the pissing on yourself, the dog poo everywhere, the talking to your wife like I gotta go do this Christmas tree bullshit, becoming a gimp.
I gotta cash my check.
Yeah,
get some milk.
So now just hearing. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say there's a lot of movie references and stuff. Like the GIMP thing is a reference to Pulp Fiction, for example. Even the achievement around it actually is a clear reference to Pulp Fiction. But yeah, what were you gonna say, SFD?
So I haven't seen anything on this game, haven't heard of it, haven't nothing. So is it open world? Number one.
Yes and no.
Semi.
There is an open world. Okay. There is like an open world sandbox, but it's smaller pieces of the world connected by loading screens. So think,
gotcha.
I don't know, Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, Super Mario 64. Yep.
Okay. And my other part to that was just from what you guys are describing about the different actions that you can do. It kind of sounds like a Saints Row kind of gameplay, where you have like that big massive schlong on a stick and you can beat people with that, or just kind of the outlandish, outrageous things. It sounds really interesting.
It's definitely one that like leans into the fact that it is a video game, so like it doesn't take itself too seriously. And and like Saints Row, it's definitely more of like that sandbox than like where GTA has the open world, but the main beef of what the fun is actually doing, like the missions or like some of the side mission stuff. Where in Saints Row, you can like smoke a blunt and go rob a diamond store or something, like so it's definitely like got more of that sandbox feel, definitely.
It's fun. It's fun. SFD, we'll get you on there. Yeah. You'll have a blast.
It's like $1 right now.
Think of the most heinous thing. You know what I mean? It's not. There's no graphics. You know what I mean? It's just very basic, but it's a lot of fun. And the game is well built in its form. You know what I mean? It's not like you're going to see Cyberpunk. You don't get this game to think that, but it's heinous. It's absolutely just randomized insanity, which is beautiful.
I love it.
Yeah, I love it. And I've had the DLC for the game for a while as well, and I've played that as well. And the DLC for the game is still really good. However, you can't play it with multiplayer. Sadly, there's no multiplayer support for the DLC. But the DLC just adds more to the like just more aspects of like there's vending machines where you can buy weapons and health and stuff like that. So it just adds more stuff, and it changes the whole map completely. So it's the same map, but it's after like an apocalypse, and it just changes the whole map, and it still keeps with the rude jokes and everything.
That's not compatible with the co-op mod, though, right?
No, I mentioned that.
Oh, okay.
I mentioned that.
Another thing, think of it, in some ways you could think of it as it's Counter-Strike-y. It's like the guns and the weapons are very Counter-Strike-esque. You know what I mean? Like when you pull out a Desert Eagle, it's a Desert Eagle. Like it's like a picture of a Desert Eagle that you're holding. Like, you know what I mean? It's
definitely got that CS:GO feel, especially because you're always sprinting, and if anything, like you can only slow down your speed with like something like crouching or something. So yeah, and like you're never aiming all the way down sights, like unless it's a sniper rifle, for example. You're only ever getting that like over the gun crosshair.
Gotcha.
So your gun's over here, and you're shooting over, and your guy's facing this way.
SFD, real quick, your window licker on Steam, right?
Yeah. Loon Boggers, just to answer your comment over in the Twitch stream. So I didn't have very much to say about what these guys were talking about. I don't have VR. I don't have this game Postal. So that's why I'm asking questions now and trying to catch up.
I know. So it's his first time on the podcast. He's not been on
Mhm.
this before. He's still getting into the rhythm and everything.
Mhm.
Uh,
We
the
are.
next thing we
I was
Oh,
gonna say
carry on.
too. We do kind of like go through things sometimes quickly. Like once it seems like we've had a couple seconds of dead air and everybody's kind of done bringing up points about something, we'll just kind of move right on to the next thing. So
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Luke. I
Okay.
appreciate that. I want to say I love your Steam name.
Thank you. No problem. I basically I just bought SFD, a copy of Postal 2 to play with us next time. So now we can get all 5 of us in there.
That'd be
Sweet.
ridiculous.
That would be
Shooting
cool.
SFT right in the face.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, Merry belated Christmas and Happy
Jason,
belated New Year, SFD, and yeah, man.
D, all of the above.
Just piss on SFT. Gotta do it.
So what's next? What do we got next here?
So
Me.
what's the considered by Game Informer to be the best of 2020? What's that?
Okay, yeah. So Game Informer, kind of wrote a little op-ed about Steam's best 2020 list. Oh, my camera is freaking out, so you have to give me a quick second here.
Does it? It's a GoPro smile.
Cringe.
Gotta love GoPro. It's like
Yeah, super cringe.
it's like the HyperX
Yeah,
microphones,
well,
but
now it's
the
all
camera
super
version.
narrow. Well, we'll roll with this. It's just a little bit different view. They basically compiled a list, of like this last year, most games streamed. They put a rating system together, but like more or less, all in all 12 platinum selling games, only 3 came out this year, while the other 9 were released in the past years. So their list of I think it's like 12 here. Their 12 list were like the top played, top streamed, top.
So this
just
is
access.
most stream time based off like most hours stream combined, but like by like the people streaming it and stuff, or like.
Yeah, more or less. They specifically say it has nothing to do with sales or anything like that. It's just more, I think, more of a fun list put together.
Mhm.
And in that list, Among Us, Counter-Strike, Cyberpunk, Destiny, Doom, Dota, Fall Guys, Grand Theft, Monster Hunter, Player Unknown, Rainbow, and Red Dead Redemption were on the kind of top of that list.
It's all really the AAA rated games that came out this year.
Well, let's
Yeah,
run through it again a little slower. You got the list in front of you somewhere?
Sure. Yeah. So I mean, you got Among Us, which all of us were on that.
New
for
indie
like
game.
a hot minute.
Mhm.
I don't think it's new.
No, it's been out
Counter-Strike.
for years now.
Yeah.
Everyone just got onto it and it became popular. People started streaming it, and that's when it kind of took off. But it's been out for years, as far as I know, anyways.
Yeah, I heard something like
Yeah.
that. I guess I don't know. I don't know exactly when it came out.
It caught the hype train.
Yeah.
So, and it's a great game. You know what I mean? I love that. I love the game. And then Counter-Strike. And this is just alphabetical. This in no way has any ranking system
Right.
in this list. These were just a list compiled that they thought were some of the most streamed. They have a platinum section, a gold section, a silver, a bronze, and the platinum, and meaning that 200,000 current players has some crossover with the platinum sales category, but it just gets super weird.
Word.
I didn't want to go into all that,
Well,
but like
let's spend a
these
couple
seem-
minutes on each game though. Counter-Strike, right? Like that's one that's been, out for years now. That's not going anywhere. Like that runs on pretty much anything now because of like, the fact that it came out years ago. That's big in esports. It's not going anywhere. Like anybody got anything to add on Counter-Strike?
I love Counter-Strike. It's the best game. I played it first on Linux.
Which
wow.
Counter-Strike
Yeah.
is it? Is it the Global Offense?
CS:GO?
It was Global Offensive.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, that game keeps getting popular and popular because of esports, and they keep bringing more and more skins in it, so they're still getting money from the game.
Mhm.
It's a fun game. Like I have
That's
all
true.
of them.
It's free to play
Yeah.
I
now,
also
right?
think there's
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's also clans, some pretty big name clans that are around, still, going hardcore in the paint.
Yeah.
For sure. And then what do they call it? Surfing. A lot of
Mhm.
surfing. People still surf.
Gross, yes,
Something I've never been able to figure out. I get like off the thing and then fly off and crash somewhere.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out surfing. I tried it like one time, twice maybe. But,
Press W.
No bueno. No bueno.
Uh,
Cyberpunk was next.
Yeah.
And we spent some time talking about Cyberpunk.
Did you play it, SFD?
Nope.
Everyone else here did.
Sadly, yes.
So you're garbage.
Did anyone else here beat it?
Yep.
Me and John
Just-
beat it. Mark and Zach haven't finished the game yet, right?
No,
Oh, I
I'm
can't be arsed
still,
with
I'm
it.
still grinding. I'm still grinding on it. I got a little distracted with some shoot 'em up.
Mm-hmm.
Destiny 2 was on that list as well.
That's another one that's not going
Destiny 2.
anywhere at this point. I
Yeah.
feel like the Destiny 2 is like completely free on Stadia now. You don't even have to have a computer that'll run it, a system that'll play it. Like all you need is the internet, and you can play Destiny 2.
It's got its
Doom
hardcore
Eternal.
fan base.
It
They're
does.
going in.
True. I remember when me and SFD bought the game. Yeah,
Yep.
before it went free, Smile, with all the DLCs which are now free. So pretty much we paid for nothing.
They didn't give you anything to compensate for the fact that.
No.
No, they actually
No, they
deleted
never
it.
would.
They got rid of the first 2 DLCs, the availability to play them.
So in like H1Z1, when that went free to play, you got like a founders pack type thing, like at no extra cost, But so it's nice.
Yeah,
to see
CFG
that.
did a similar thing. They gave you the Prime upgrade for free. But Destiny 2, no. They just said, hey, you've got to play the game before everyone else. That's
With Destiny 2, it's you get all the different packs, and you 100% the original game, but there's so much playability to it.
Mhm.
And if you add friends in there, you can go and replay the different assignments or whatever you want to call them. I don't remember. For that person that hasn't gotten that far yet,
Mhm.
and the playability behind it and the replayability is just on point.
Mhm.
Where that's not a game I've actually gotten into. Destiny was never one that like I ever picked up.
Well, you don't even have to pick it up anymore. You literally can just go to like Stadia.com and play it through your web browser.
No, I'm just saying, it's never really super interested in me.
But you know how like normally like even a thing, if you own the game, you still got to download it and install it.
For
So like with this, you don't even have to. You just play it on Stadia. And
Look at this. That's pushy.
I'm just
You
I'm just
go to his
saying.
website and play some stuff.
That's too much. The game needs to just start when I think about it.
You know what? That's what I'm saying.
Too
Jesus.
intrusive.
So we're gonna play, is what you're saying. That's actually what.
Yeah,
you're
we can hop on Stadia and we can play. Like, there's literally like no threshold to play at this point. If you have a Google account, you own Destiny 2.
What?
Yeah, me and Luke tried the Stadia version, and sure, the
Pretty good.
graphics aren't like 10 out of 10, but the responsiveness, you can't really tell.
Yeah,
It runs
works.
pretty well.
it works pretty well. Yeah, and it's a way to test out Stadia for free. There's that completely free to play, and then there's that Bomberman 64 game completely free to play.
Let's
I
move
also
on to Doom Eternal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Doom Eternal.
My cousin
Mine-
Salem was huge into Doom Eternal. Speedrunning it. Doing the Ultra Nightmare speedruns for a while.
Yeah, that game is fire. Just period.
I
And
was about it for a little bit. Didn't get too into it. Other games were coming out right at the same time as Eternal came out, and it was all just a cluster at that time. What other games came out when that was out? Was that one?
What
Yeah,
did you say, John?
Animal Crossing came out the same day as Doom Eternal.
Yep.
Amazing.
They dropped on the same day.
There's that
Wasn't
picture of
Modern Warfare
Isabella.
close?
Modern Warfare was pretty close, I think.
Yeah, I think that was
in that
the
March
rage.
time
You
period.
think?
Yeah.
You think they capped on the product there? Two different spectrums. You think that one affected Doom Eternal? People were like, you know what? I can't get Doom Eternal. I got to get this other one.
Animal Crossing was a phenomenon. Animal Crossing has sold
No,
like a crazy amount of copies already.
But who would have thought, right? You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? What
The,
if sales
the
were
fandoms
removed?
did crossover
Yeah,
really
crazy.
hard during that time period. for some
Animal
reason.
Crossing multiplayer, by the way.
Yeah, you know.
That's fun. It
Uh,
sucks so much.
Dota 2's next on that list.
Dota 2. What's there to say about Dota 2 that hasn't been said?
All right,
Womp
moving on.
womp.
I've
Dota
never
2
played
is
Me
You
neither.
never played Dota 2? Neither of you have ever played Dota 2?
I play my
No.
LOL. I play my League of
But
Legends.
you've played a MOBA, right? Like at some point SFD or no?
Nope.
You never
Oh,
played
really?
a MOBA? Wow, so that's something we
No.
gotta pop your cherry. You might really
Let's
enjoy
play
it.
some League, dude.
It's like a competitive
Please.
art real-time strategy game. If you've ever played like Command and Conquer, Age of Empires, you know, and you think it'd be fun to play kind of with and against people, it's like 3v3 RTS sort of.
Listen, the thing I don't like about like League of Legends is I hate how the screen moves. I hate how you have to mouse move. Like,
can-
can
you
you
can lock it.
detach and actually sky move around there? Because I've never figured
Yeah.
out a way to do it.
So natively it's set to like Y. Most people set it to spacebar, but like the pro way to play it is with moving the screen with the mouse.
Lame.
But
See,
yeah,
I can't.
you can lock it.
There was a
play
game
with
out, and you'll have to forgive me because I can't remember the damn name of it, but it was a MOBA and it was fantastic. But I guess it lost like a huge. It created a lot of issues. People didn't want to play it or whatever the fucking issue was. But I will tell you straight up, it was one of the best, and I can't remember the name of it.
Was it that third person
was it
one
the
from
blue
Epic Games?
Yes, and it's killing me.
Paragon.
Paragon. I love that. It's repetitive.
It's completely gone
over.
now.
Yes, it's completely gone. But I absolutely love that game. I thought it was great, and I thought they could have done so much with it. Instead of revamping the game, they completely just axed it. It was out.
What happened was that game was actually starting to pick up in popularity a little bit, and then they put out Fortnite. Like Fortnite was already out as a PvE game, but they put out Fortnite as a battle royale PvP game to kind of compete with Z1 and PUBG and stuff like that, and it ended up being all of a sudden the most popular battle royale game, and so they had to pull all the staff that was working on basically every other project to Fortnite, and the Paragon got the axe. They couldn't keep it in development anymore.
Breaks my heart, man. That was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Maybe they'll bring it back someday. Paragon 2.
Come on, please. I'm begging. I really enjoyed that game. I mean, I got stuck in there for a hot minute.
Somebody put me onto that, yeah, and I think I showed that to you, because I used to play that.
The game was dope. All right, so we've all played it. Fall Guys.
Mm-hmm.
Next on that list.
Well,
Phil.
season 3, right? Fall Guys is out.
Yeah.
So you've played that, Zach, right? What did you think of the new stages and stuff?
Amazing. They really spice up the game. As Phil was saying last episode, we were wondering how they would change it up, how they would make it feel different. And what they've done is made the levels just go even higher or even longer. It's just, they're insane.
That's just the motto now.
I
Bigger,
suck
more,
so much
more
with
level.
that game.
Bigger and better.
And it still runs amazingly.
I'm the worst at that game. I don't get it. It's push forward and that's it.
Yeah, push up to win.
Yeah, there's no real skill to it.
There is and there isn't. I mean, you know, some of the games like it's you can cause the final round to come sooner, for sure. Like directly, you can have a direct impact on the final round showing up sooner if you're like fucking with people, pushing people off the edge, stuff like that. You can get it down to like the final 10 or final 7 like quicker. So I mean, there isn't a ton of direct skill, like you guys kind of said, push up to win. But I know in like the first season, at least, there was like Block Party, that game where the blocks would kind of come up at you and you'd have to like run through the blocks. You know, that was the perfect game where obviously there's no way to speed it up or anything. So the only other objective than stay alive is kill people. You know, like, and so I don't know. I guess it depends partly on your mentality in the game. Like if you're just playing to stay alive, you know, then it's kind of just push up to win. But if you're, you know, if you're not necessarily just trying to like make it to the end of the level, but also trying to get people out during the level, then it kind of like, I don't know, it spices it up a little.
For sure. I can't ever, like, I go to grab somebody and like I'm grabbing the air.
Or
and
like
I'm running after them. And then they're faster than me. And I'm like, oh, get back here. Wait. Ah.
My problem is when I try to like fuck people over, like 6 times out of 10, it ends up fucking me over. Like,
Yeah. You're like,
yeah, like son of a
I'm
bitch.
behind 80 of these dudes. What?
I walked off the edge.
Yeah, I think that
sure.
game definitely needs power-ups added to it. Like within the level, you can get like magnetic boots or an extra speed boost or something like that. I think that would definitely
I'm
up
in.
the gameplay on it.
There'd
I
have to
like
be
that.
then like
Make
kind
it
of
more
like
interesting.
I feel like if you put something like that in, there has to be then some kind of like negative thing to getting that. Maybe like there's only one box and everybody has to kind of try to jump on each other to try to get it or something. Because there has to be a drawback to get it, you know? Like,
Right, because
Oh,
that's like
absolutely.
Mario Kart. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Then you're like getting a banana and flinging a banana at somebody.
Yeah, like where if you're in 8th place, you're getting lightning bolts and blue shells all day, you know. So
Just roasting fools.
yeah,
But that would make it crazy though, like like a lightning strike or like a you know what I mean, or
Mhm.
like a rolling ball that like wipes out half the board.
I
That'd be
think
kinda
like
sweet.
the lightning one is a great one. For example, like kind of like evens the playing field in the race, especially the way the lightning bolt mechanic works in Mario Kart, where the people in the front stay shrunken a little bit longer than the people slightly further back. You know, so you could give somebody way in the back a lightning bolt, boom, they hit it, and then slowly you see this wave of everybody getting bigger again toward the front. You know, and it kind of like helps smush
Mhm.
the pack together again. Um, so I don't know.
Word, no. Hey, if you're listening, Fall Guys
Yeah.
creators,
Hell yeah, there's some free dough for
They-
you.
somebody's got the hookup. You know what I'm saying? We'll cut you in. So Grand Theft Auto, Monster Hunter World, Player Unknowns, and Rainbow. Um, I'm pretty sure we could kind of skip over all those. And then-
Yeah, GTA 5. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
What was the next one? Monster
It
Hunter.
sucks.
it's
Anybody here picking a
Players-
Monster Hunter? Nah. I bought World,
Which
never got into it.
I don't even get why like PUBG would still be more in that popular range, especially with like Modern Warfare.
PUBG Mobile is huge because it's free to play instead of costing
Fair.
$30 or whatever. And you can play it on like more entry level hardware. You can use like BlueStacks to play it on PC. And so there's a lot of, especially for like non-English speaking countries, there's still a lot of hype around PUBG Mobile, I feel like.
Fair enough. First world problem
Mhm.
issues.
Third
Too
world
many games at the same
countries.
time.
I didn't want to say
So-
third world. I said not English speaking.
PUBG, we're already past that. We've got,
Mhm.
we're in more Modern Warfare and a bunch of others.
Yeah.
No, but there is one, and I think it's Phasmophobia.
Ooh,
Do you know about that?
of course I do. I recently bought it.
Oh, this is one we all have to play.
Nope.
Yes, it is.
Not about it.
SFD's shaking his head. Yeah, what's wrong, SFD?
Nope,
What?
not about it.
Too scary
I've
for
seen-
you.
I've seen gameplay. It's not the fact that it's scary. It's the fact that I really don't see a point to the game. Yeah, you got to try and, figure out which kind of ghost this is and if they're scary or if they're friendly. But there's no point to it for me. I'm not about it.
Here, I've got your glass of haterade right here. I can help you out.
I mean, I couldn't complain.
Here,
It was £1.50 for me.
and,
So
and it's empty. All right, that's how many fucks we're given today about your opinion.
Zach's over there bragging about tax evasion.
what?
No, fine. Like I get what you're saying though. Like all in all, I totally do get what you're saying. There isn't really a point. It's just I think more of a party game.
True.
We're just hanging out, talking shit. You gotta detect the ghost. Like there are steps to do it. Like you gotta put your EMF detector up, and then you gotta go over and like lure the ghost out with doing different things. And you get like a Bible and holy water and like all this different stuff. So it does have a little bit more depth than maybe I watched my brother play it, and let me tell you something. It was ridiculous. They were streaming it live. It was awesome. I just think it'd be a lot of fun to play. That reached on their gold level. Everything that we read was on what they consider their platinum or Steam's platinum rankings, but like Phasmophobia in the gold category, Borderlands, Sea of Thieves, Elder Scrolls, those all hit the
I was
gold.
actually
So-
going to compare, like, I haven't played Phasmophobia, but as you describe it, I was going to say it kind of sounds like Sea of Thieves almost, but with ghosts. Like, kind of like, in the regard, Zach, I see your face that it's just a hangout game, kind of, It's like in Sea of Thieves, the most engaging thing you do is the stuff on the boat. Like,
Sleep.
raise
You
the
sleep IRL.
raise the anchor, put the sails down, steer the ship, which is really all just the steps to get where you're going, just like in Phasmophobia, it sounds like the parts that are fun are the placing the EMF and the ghost traps.
Yeah.
It's not,
It's
it's
kind of
not,
like Raft.
Yeah, it's not about
Or
the
a drift.
destination. It's about the journey getting there. You know.
Yeah, I like that.
I mean,
Hear that,
I
folks?
don't,
It's not about the destination. It's the
I don't
journey.
know.
It's like a hangout game or like a road trip game in that regard. You know.
Yes.
The
very much
journey
so.
in Sea
Very
of Thieves makes me sleepy. But the journey of Phasmophobia, it always keeps me on my toes because I don't know if there's going to be a ghost shutting doors on me and then putting me in a corner.
And you die. Like if the ghost gets pissed
Exactly.
off enough, the ghost will eat your face. Like
And the thing is, it's VR and non-VR. So I played it in VR and non-VR, and the
I wanna
VR version of it is messed up because when the ghost like touches you, you can see the hands come around your screen, and it's just it's creepy.
That
I have a
sounds-
question. Is that how many players does that support maximum?
4, I
good.
think.
4?
I think it's 4.
Is it on sale right now in the Steam sale? Do you know?
I think so. Yeah. Let me go.
Because that honestly, like, I hadn't looked into Phasmophobia. I'm usually not one for horror games, but hearing you guys talk about it now, I'm actually
It
kind of
is. It's
interested.
10% off.
It's
Yep,
not
that's
bad for a new game
not
that's
much.
probably like
what's it?
got good reviews so
$12?
far.
$12 bucks, $12.
$12.59. Early access. It says overwhelmingly positive reviews so far. It only came out
$12.59, yeah.
September 2020. So I mean, for a new game, still, $12.59 is not bad. New game with that good of reviews.
No, and if you do have VR and you add the VR element to it, it's got to be even better. You know what I mean? I was just watching it on screen, and it just looked ridiculous. It looked great. It looked like a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Definitely
actually
worth it.
nominated for Steam's VR Game of the Year.
Oh wow!
True.
So, I mean, if that tells you anything.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, I can't wait to. If John gets it, can't wait to be hugging him in the corner. Where's this one
Hog
going?
you!
Spooky.
The stars
What
absorbed
were we
Luke.
playing?
They
Say
did.
that was for-
Sorry
Um,
guys. Whoop. The cat wanted me to let it in the office.
Jesus!
What did you just draw?
I dropped this cup onto the hardwood floor, and actually, surprisingly, it's okay.
Oh, it would be content if it smashed.
All right. Yeah.
So yeah, that was that all the top 20? Was there anything else on the list really that we kind of glozed over?
Yeah, I think we beat that into the ground a little bit.
I mean,
You know
and
what I mean?
most of those games are games in the last year that I have played or streamed. So
There was one more in there that I want to talk about is Rainbow Six.
Okay.
Yeah, buddy, swing it.
We've played a crap ton of Rainbow Six between me and Zach.
Pay to win, pay to win, pay to win, pay to win.
It is pay to win, but you actually have to have some skill. And there's actual championships, and there's competitions, and there's actual, clans that are out here grinding it every single day so they can win these championships. And yes, it is kind of like a CS kind of style game, but you actually have to have some skill.
My dude just said, "Do you need some skill?" Dude, you can be sat in a
yeah.
corner with a shield. What do you mean? Oh, sorry. I see that you're in my room. I'm just gonna full shield it.
Just because I'm calling out your strat, I mean,
Okay, dude. It's not my strat. Dude, I haven't played that game. I haven't played that game until like, last week, and it still sucks. It's interesting and very annoying because people are actually decent at the game now, and
I can't really get into those like single life, like CS:GO, Rainbow Six, like any of those, like even COD, like Search and Destroy or whatever it is. I just really can't get into those single life games because like I end up spending the same amount of time like not playing that I do playing, like same or more not playing the game, and I just end up so disengaged by the time that I end up playing again that it's just I can't stay in it from round to round.
Word. Anything else, gentlemen?
Well, I think the next thing on the list then, you were talking about the upcoming 2021 video games, some trailers that you had seen that you wanted to talk about.
For sure. So I know very little about these games, but I was just doing a little research to see what's new, attractive, what people are talking about. And Tech Radar kind of released this little thing. It says 2020 has begun. has begun. I can't even read today. My goodness.
Wow.
Yeah, my goodness. More or less. Long story short, as they were talking about some different games that are anticipated, that they like, how some of them may be architecturally changing the evolution of gaming, the cleanliness, some anticipated weights, a lot of different things. So one of the first ones was Elden Ring. That one is one, if not the most anticipated PC game on this list. I took a look at it. The snippet about it, an action RPG developed by FromSoft, published by. I hate doing names because I always butcher them. It's Namco Entertainment. Jaw-dropping collaboration between Dark Souls, directed by another individual, which I don't want to butcher their name. It's supposed to be available on all platforms coming up in 2021. It looks beautiful. I took a look at it. Just gorgeous. As far as like the layout, it's definitely one that I would recommend. What I was hoping we could do, but we may not be able to for copyright infringement, is show some of these videos, and then I wanted to show them to you guys and let you take a look at them, but we don't want to dabble in places where
we can pull up screenshots, probably no problem. The other thing too is
really quickly,
I was gonna say just real quick is that whatever we show on stream, most of the people like who are like listening to the podcast on Spotify or iTunes won't be able to see. So if we do show
but
pictures
you need to
or
check us out
trailers,
then. Come check out the video or watch it yourself. Just because we're watching it, you can still get the entertainment.
What were you gonna say, John? Real quick, my bad.
So we were Elden Ring.
The two big collabs for Elden Ring, it's the Game of Thrones writer is writing the world, while the Dark Souls writer is writing the storyline. So we're gonna have like world building from George R.R. Martin, and then we're having the storyline driven by the guy who did all the Dark Souls, which is fucking crazy lore.
Thank you.
And so,
Thank you.
No problem. It seems like that's one of the big things that's driving it being like such a popular game so far, and it hasn't even come out yet.
Yeah, and there's very little on it as far as layout or things. They have a very nice looking trailer, so that's definitely one to take a peek at. Second on their list is New World, and New World looked kind of cool too. This one, MMO fantasy RPG, developed by Amazon. Now, however, the thought on this one is that it's going to be a flop. That it's anticipated, but Amazon has had 2 failed opportunities to release some games. So it could be a 50-50 shot on this one.
Didn't Amazon recently unrelease a game? Like they put a game out and like the launch was so rocky and bad that they underpublicized that they unlaunched the game.
I'm unaware of that. They do go to say that it's a great opportunity for Amazon Game Studios to redeem itself after its 2 failed titles, Breakaway and Crucible. It left people wondering whether or not Amazon should have gotten into video game market in the first place.
Yeah, so Amazon.
I'll be honest. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to touch on the Crucible thing real quick. What happened is they took it out of closed beta and put it, I think, into like open beta so anybody in the public could join it. And then they took it and put it back into closed beta. The game launched on May 20th, 2020, and then in July 2020 it went back into closed beta. So it was only like publicly available for about 2 or 3 months before they reshelved it.
So looking at screenshots of New World, yeah, the graphics look pretty good, but it really does look like a WoW. It looks like a World of Warcraft kind of WoW.
That's why
Wow.
they did buy a bunch of Twitch streamers to play it early. WoW streamers, of course, because it is a WoW game.
I get like
like
Mordhau vibes looking at these screenshots personally.
Yeah, but once you get to the actual gameplay pictures, it's a third person, one character controlling kind of gameplay, and it looks like you have these different mage abilities or all these different weapons you can obtain and that kind of thing.
Word. No. Yeah. So we'll see if Amazon's got what it takes to pull this one through and make it enjoyable.
Yeah. We'll see.
We'll have to see. Ruined King is another one on the Ruined King is another one. The League of Legends story. That one's expected. I didn't do too much research on that, but I did take a look at this one called Crimson Desert, and it's an It's an MMO fantasy RPG. It's from Black Desert Online.
I was gonna say
Developers
that's
are
what
Pearl
it looks
Abyss.
like.
Yep. It's interesting. Watching the trailer, I was kind of like, It gave me a bit of Anthem kind of feel,
Mm-hmm.
like some of the graphics and stuff. And I know a lot of people aren't huge fans of that game and thought that it flopped pretty considerably. But I got kind of an Anthem-y type feel. It's one to take a look at, see what your feelings are on that guy.
So
They do suggest that you are going to need a considerable PC to play it with steady frame rate.
the graphics look great at a glance. I mean,
Yeah,
Black
it looks-
Desert Online was always, in my opinion, one of the best looking MMOs, which is a genre of games I've never gotten into. So I mean, I don't know. This definitely looks like something to keep an eye on, just graphically, and it looks like a big AAA game, but the fact that you're playing with and against other people potentially, like online in an MMO, like with those kind of graphics, I don't know. I feel like that's gonna potentially pull a lot of people in, but if you're talking about needing a beefy rig, then we'll have to see how it runs. If it runs like Cyberpunk, then I don't know.
Yeah, take a ride. Evil West was one I thought you might get a kick out of, Luke. That one and Humankind are two of next on that list. Humankind looks like Civilization a little bit. Kind of gives you the same type of feel. It looks fun. It kind of looks ridiculous. The ad for it's kind of silly, but totally looks like it could be a lot of fun. Progression timeline, character evolves. My camera keeps exploding.
Yeah, at a glance, I see what you're saying about the Civ vibes.
Yeah. I think it could be something super cool. They say use your GoPro for cameras, and I say sometimes.
SFD, you sounded like you were gonna pop something in about that. Add a little 2 cents.
No, I was just gonna say Evil West looks like a Red Dead Redemption kind of game. That's to me what it looks like. I mean, obviously we don't have any gameplay pictures of people actually in the game, but just from the artwork and whatnot that they've put out there, it definitely looks like a Red Dead Redemption.
I could see
And
that.
Luke, I know you 100%ed Red Dead, so I wouldn't be surprised if this is kind of right up your alley too.
I beat the whole campaign for Red Dead, but I wouldn't say 100% it, because I definitely didn't do all the side missions and everything in Red Dead. That's
Gotcha.
not even something I'll pretend to have done for a moment, because that's a big undertaking.
So they say Evil West is a single player narrative driven game, just like Red Dead. Because I mean, that's pretty much what Red Dead was. I think Red Dead looks a little bit better.
Now, real quick,
what I did see in the gameplay.
A lot of Red Dead comparisons, but have any of you guys ever seen or played like Call of Juarez?
Negative.
Because to be honest, like obviously the Red Dead like vibes are there at a glance with like the the kind of like setting and the character. But Call of Juarez was like a first-person shooter that like had kind of like a similar like look and feel to like Red Dead, what you'd expect out of Red Dead, and yeah, it was like released on like Xbox 360, PS3, and personally that's the vibes I kind of get looking at Evil West. I see what you guys are saying about Red Dead, but I more almost see like Call of Juarez's gameplay looking at it, and
or some Borderlands, like a little mixture of some Borderlands.
Yeah, if you've never seen Call of Juarez at all, it'd be worth like looking up on YouTube just to like kind of check out what I'm talking about in that regard.
And one of the last ones was Warhammer, 40,000 Darktide.
Mm-hmm.
That looked like a very Doomish type game, but it looked like a lot of fun. So watching the trailer, it was just mayhem. It was just blast aliens and like I didn't like the character. Like, so obviously you can choose between these 4 characters. It looks like as they're releasing it, but I was kind of like, you know what I mean? It could have been better choices there, but man, the movement and the gunplay and some of the different things that you get to do in the game looks a lot of fun. It looks like a lot of fun. I'll probably put a few hours into that.
Yeah, I can
So,
get into Warhammer.
So it's supposed to be like a sequel to Vermintide, where it's like you fight zombies, and in this one you're fighting aliens in the future. Warhammer 40K instead of just Warhammer Standard.
It was pretty
and
sweet.
Vermintide was fucking honestly really fun, really fun game. It was basically just hack and slash everything around you at all times, and for Warhammer 40K. Warhammer 40K is set in like the distant future, and so I'm assuming it's the same thing, just hack and slash all the time, but with guns. Shoot anything that moves.
It was pretty vicious, like just the splattering and the motion, and it just looked like rapid onslaught. You know what I mean? Like by the time you get done playing a 2-hour session, you're gonna need a towel because you're gonna get sweaty.
Now, I've never personally played a Warhammer game, and like a couple things I'll say about them is they seem to come out like clockwork. Like there seems to be 2 or 3 new Warhammer games per year. And as somebody who is not into the series and has never played any of them, I wouldn't know where to begin. It seems so daunting, the fact that there are like so many of them. I feel like if I did get into it, I'd be spending hundreds of dollars a year on like new games just in the Warhammer series.
Oh, not even games.
And
There's
then
the board game. And what it's all based off of is the board game.
Oh wow,
Where you're
I didn't know
spending
that.
hundreds of dollars on minifigs. Essentially, it was just a world that was built, and then they built other things around the world. Games, movies. And it started off as a board game.
Yeah, the games. Another thing I was going to say about them is they never seem to achieve like that sort of like mainstream appeal. Like I've never seen a Warhammer game nominated for Game of the Year or anything like that. I mean, that doesn't mean they're not good, or anything like that. But at the same time, for whatever reason, they're not garnering that sort of like mass appeal.
A Warhammer for me reminds me like the feeling of it every year of it coming out. It reminds me of like the Magic the Gathering games coming out.
Like a new set of cards releasing.
Basically, like this game, the new is basically new Vermintide set in the other part of their universe that's already been established. No story. I'm assuming no real heavy direction on what's going on. Just do your thing.
Just murder.
Yeah.
Just splatter alien.
The trailer definitely looks wild. I see what Mark's saying with the Doom feels and everything, and what you were saying with the hack and slash. Yeah, looks wild.
That was a great way to. I like that hack and slash. Sometimes mindless entertainment is great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where you just take a minute and you don't have a complex storyline, and you're just running and gunning.
Press up to win.
Press up to win.
Turn your brain off.
Yeah.
Turn your brain off and just go ham.
Yeah, those are nice. That's what modern warfare does for me, or your battlefields and whatnot. I just get in the zone and I'm just out. I played one of the best games I played today. I went 69-32, I think,
Nice.
and I was just murdering everybody. So I'm pretty excited about that.
That's awesome.
Like I've been real rusty, so I came in like a gangster in this, and my KD's going up and whatnot. I was having some dismal games.
Came in like a legitimate wrecking ball.
Oh, woo! Kicking them out. Get out of here.
Get trash.
You can't see me. Well, and I'm starting like with Cold War, getting the new guns and play with the guns and. Wait.
Make sure to watch the stream or the VOD on YouTube. Sometimes just listening on Spotify won't do you the justice, unfortunately.
I can't even do what Zach's doing anymore. My wrists don't go that far. I don't know if it's old age or like arthritis.
Luke's even having challenges. Jesus.
I can't do it. I cannot invert my wrists like that. Yeah,
so anybody watching in the Twitch chat that's live right now, go ahead, throw us questions. If you want us to look at a game, throw some game names out there, whatever you guys want.
I want to point out, SFD, that there's 5 people watching and 5 people streaming, so that's probably us previewing.
You have to put us down. There's actually 7.
I gotta count
There's
7.
7.
You gotta count 7.
Get your statistical
Mine
facts
says 5.
correct.
On this side, it says 5. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
That
It
that
says
means
7.
one of our girlfriends are watching.
Hi, babe.
Hey, what's up, baby? Appreciate you. Thanks. Shit
It's
is
actually John's dog watching.
yeah, you'd log down.
SFD's taking a picture of us.
Doing that, dude.
Yeah. You. What'd you do tonight? Podcast.
Yeah, catch me on episode 3 of the POWERCAST.
It's episode
Number
3.
1 of the new year.
Yeah, episode
Is
3.
it really 3?
Yeah, it's flying by, dude.
Yeah,
I
it
told you
is.
we're gonna be doing episode 54 by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
was there any more anticipated games? Any more like big
Jeez, nuts.
anticipation?
Yeah,
mean-
some you guys might like. There's a couple on here, and one on multiple different lists is Back for Blood,
Mm-hmm.
and that's on a lot of people's lists. I've never played it. I don't know too much about it.
Zach played the beta.
It's supposed to be like the spiritual successor.
It ran like shit.
Yeah, but you don't have a good computer, so like,
Dude.
I'm just kidding.
Dude.
I want to check
Okay.
out the world.
Yeah.
That's I'm kind of interested in checking that one out.
Nah, Back for Blood was alright. It's pretty
Oh,
fun.
and wait, what is this? Like Dungeons and Dragons 2021 game?
I haven't heard anything.
Oh yeah.
Harry Potter, the MMORPG this year? Is it MMO? Or is it RPG? I don't fucking. It's one of those.
We're supposed to hear more about Breath of the Wild 2 this year. And the reason I say that is because this year is the 35th anniversary of The Legend of Zelda for NES, so we may end up seeing a Legend of Zelda 3D collection for Switch. We may end up seeing a, like an announce for the release date of Breath of the Wild 2. Those are like anticipated ones for me. I'd love to pick up the, Zelda 3D collection if they end up doing one, and, obviously new Breath of the Wild.
So listen to this. So originally billed for the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons as Adventures in Space, the world of Spelljammer, designed by Jeff Grubb, introduced laser guns, spacefaring, and the famous I can't say it. I don't know how to pronounce that, but these ships. So it's like super space adventures, Dungeons and Dragons. Like, I'm kind of a geek. I'm kind of into that. Most recently, the trailer of Baldur's Gate 3 centers on mind fair of this ship being chased into the by their great enemy. It looks dope, man. It looks pretty fun. This was just one I kind of found randomly, but I would totally check that out. I hope they have a trailer coming up soon. A little D&D, man. Take it back.
Yeah.
I know you guys aren't into that stuff, but I like that stuff.
I don't know. I know John's a little into D&D. I never got into it really. I played.
into it.
What was that one game? Board game Gloomhaven. I was like in a little Gloomhaven squad with John for a little while. That was pretty fun.
Yeah,
But
it's like set up for you D&D, which is nice. Like no need for a DM.
But those are
D&D's
fun.
pretty fun, but it's hard to translate the like magic of an imagination into
To a
like
game.
a video game.
True.
A lot of games have tried in previously. Like every other game, I felt like going through the 2000s was like, oh, D&D like game,
Mhm.
Well,
Elder
we'll see.
Scrolls,
We'll see how they
Fallout.
do. I think they're with the technology increase. I think they can get closer and closer. And what if they do one in VR?
Dude, that'd be sweet. I mean, I'm
Come on,
down.
Pug
I'm
Chat.
always down to
dope.
try it out. Always down to check it out, especially if it's like with friends. That's one of my big things. Is working it with friends is the big part of D&D. Building that like group.
For sure.
So
For sure. But that's that stuff looks fun. Just some interesting titles coming out. Kind of going a super MMO for the year. It looks like.
Yeah.
Well, a game that I just
Fuck
pulled
it, I'm
up
gonna play Fall
that's
Guys.
press up.
Press up to win.
What are you
Game
anticipating?
that I just pulled up: Super Mario 3D World Bowser's Fury.
Oh yeah. So the thing I guess about that though is that's a re-release of a Wii U game. So like the Bowser's Fury is completely new content that isn't available to play yet, but like technically Super Mario 3D World you can already play on a Wii U. Which is kind of actually the perfect segue into the next thing if we're done talking about new games for 2021.
Hit it one time.
So speaking of the Wii U, which is a totally dead system, kind of a flop from the jump, Nintendo accidentally listed 2 Wii U games as releasing this year. And the thought is that how like when a game gets added to like a retail system, they put in a placeholder date if they don't know the actual release date. So I guess the thought is that these were 2 games that were added to Nintendo's system a long time ago with placeholder dates for the end of this year that were basically placeholdered for December 30th, 2020, and that the placeholders never got updated, or like delisted or whatever. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they 2 Wii U games popped up. 2 like listings for Wii U games popped up, which were Banjo-Kazooie, the Microsoft Studios game, and Blast Corps, which is actually like another Microsoft Studios game. And we didn't start seeing the Microsoft Nintendo stuff until like more recently with the Switch. So I guess the curiosity now is like whether that was meant to be a listing for the Switch that ended up getting shown off early, so like that we might end up seeing Banjo-Kazooie and Blast Corps on the Switch, but just like kind of like at a later time, kind of pushed back due to COVID and stuff, or that it was just basically a complete mistake that at one point those games were in the works for the Wii U, it never got finalized, and yeah. Who here owned a Wii U?
Not me, sir.
I owned an original Wii.
Who here owns or owned a Switch? So 4 out of 5 own or owned a Switch, right? Like most of us, it's within arm reach.
Real quickly, sorry. It's interesting that you talked about Banjo-Kazooie having an accidental potential drop on Switch, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or Wii U. It was on Wii U.
The original composer from Banjo-Kazooie has mentioned that he's in works on a remaster for Banjo-Kazooie already, but teased the idea of a potential new game coming from Nintendo.
That's really cool.
With Rare's original team.
A lot of that stuff isn't necessarily accidental.
Yeah, I feel like potentially we could see a new Banjo-Kazooie game with his attention from Smash, with kind of this false attention potentially turned. The textured 2DS special edition.
I got that same one. Fucking camera.
Yeah, so it's really minor hype, but it's definitely something that I wanted to mention really quick. We definitely could see the potential of a new Banjo-Kazooie game being announced or released within the next couple of years.
That would be lit, to be honest. I mean, it's been too long. Plus, Microsoft has a real mascot problem. Seeing that their only mascot they can't get games out on time for, and is geared toward a mature audience. With Master Chief, if they could have gotten Halo Infinite out on time, and if it was teen rated, I think that would be a little bit more of a mascot for everybody. But with them owning the rights to somebody like Banjo-Kazooie and not having a mascot currently, I think it's kind of overdue that they get out a Banjo-Kazooie game.
That was sweet.
The Phil Spencer back in October even was talking about Banjo-Kazooie kind of being up to Rare, and Rare and what was it called? That new company that made Yooka-Laylee, that company also being purchased by Microsoft.
Oh yeah, Yooka-Laylee. Who they put out that one collectathon that kind of throwback to Donkey Kong Country and Super Mario 64, but then they put out a sequel to Yooka-Laylee. They put out a side-scrolling platformer more akin to Mario Brothers or Rayman, which I haven't played either of, but
honestly, the side-scroller reminded me most of early Donkey Kong Country, NES Donkey Kong.
Mm-hmm.
Or SNES, not
SNES.
Where it was kind of that side-scroller action, more 3D than Mario was, but definitely still that side-scroller action all the way across.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, definitely fingers crossed. That would be so sweet to have either the release, either one. I'll take either one, or the release of Banjo-Kazooie on the Switch, or a new Banjo-Kazooie either coming from Microsoft or coming from Microsoft through Nintendo.
I'd love to see both, because I would hope that they would go so next gen on the new Banjo-Kazooie, even though it's a cartoony mascotty game. I hope they go so high end on the graphics and physics and stuff that it can't run on the Switch. and that they have to put out the Banjo Classic like alongside, so they have something to release when they launch the new one. And I think that would be the thing that would make the most sense, because then you can try to like push units for the Series X, get people to buy the new Banjo Kazooie, and then you can take advantage of the fact that, and then you could release the classic one on Xbox One, Xbox Series X, PC, Switch. Sell a ton of copies of the old game, get hype and anticipation high for the new game, and then move units for the Series X because of it.
Exactly. Yeah, and I mean, especially like I said, with all the hype that's kind of been building the past half year for Banjo Kazooie, it seems like it's gonna reach a pinnacle, and either they're gonna make a money move on it, or nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah, they got to. I mean, with how much they spent on Rare and all these other studios, they have to start putting out games with the properties that they own the rights to. I mean, otherwise it's just a waste of time and money.
Exactly. Conker's been dead for years.
There was the Conker's Reloaded, the Xbox remake of Conker's Bad Fur Day. But it's like hit or miss. Like they took out like local multiplayer, they added online multiplayer, they edited some of like the content that like wasn't edited on the N64. So it's like this already mature game got watered down on like a more adult system, and it was like it was a mixed bag from what I understand. But they haven't done anything with Conker.
Yeah, that came out on like 360, and I'm assuming you were about to just say that.
I think that's OG Xbox actually. Conker's Reloaded is original Xbox. It's been that long since they've done anything with it.
He's just dead, sitting in a box somewhere.
Yeah.
So I just found something. Game called Returnal. You might as well want to check that out. It's only going to be on PS5, so it's an exclusive game. Release date should be March 19th. It kind of gives me a Gears of War kind of feel.
Yeah, over the shoulder.
Better graphics, over the shoulder. Yep. Better graphics. It looks like it's going to be super sweet. It's looks like elemental weapons or something like that going on. Different abilities that your character is going to be able to have. Just something that looks super cool.
A lot of
might
these,
have to check out.
A lot of these.
Like,
sorry.
Sorry. It seems a lot like Nier Automata. It seems like they're talking about it being a bullet hell as well. And from a couple of the pictures, it looks like there's going to be like projectiles that are going to be moving towards you, kind of like Nier Automata meets Dead Space.
Yeah, Dead Space was the game that I couldn't think of to kind of relate that to. Yeah.
I'm gonna throw a little bit of a damper on this and say that when the PS4 and Xbox One first got shown off, there was a ton of like gameplay reels that were shown, and a lot of those games never got released. A lot of them ended up getting like officially canceled like a few years later. Like for example, Scalebound was shown off for the original Xbox One. Never came to fruition, and there's a lot of other games like that. When we're in this like crossover between generations, a lot of the ambitions end up being bigger than the the console's hardware end up allowing for, and just like other stuff like that. And for one reason or another, they either can't find a good direction, they can't find good management, they this or that, and the game gets canceled. So with a game like that, like Returnal being a PS5 exclusive, and I don't think having a release date yet. Or no, it's set to be released March 19th, 2021.
Yeah.
So that's probably going to happen. Like, that's probably definitely going to come out at some point. But a lot of those games that, that we've seen just a little snippet of gameplay for, but, like, don't have a release date yet for the PS5 and Series X, I wouldn't hold your breath. They're probably, it's 50-50 they'll even come out.
To talk on that, release date, all that kind of stuff, Far Cry 6. I'm looking at IGN right now, and they're saying rumored release date, as listed on the Microsoft Store, stretches from April 2021 to March of 2022.
Yeah.
So that's a game that could be out, in December of 2021, and
I guess the difference is when it's a new IP like Scalebound, I have less faith that it will make it to the end of the project. You know, something like Far Cry 6, we've seen the formula now 5 times already. Like, plus if you count the in between the main entries, like the primal and stuff. You know, we've seen a ton of times now how the Far Cry formula works out from beginning to end. Where like something like say Scalebound or like this game Returnal here, we don't know like the beginning to end kind of like, you know, sequence of events. Where like Far Cry I could probably play through the next one with my eyes closed. I mean, hopefully though, the big thing with Far Cry is the graphics always blow me away. The immersiveness of the sandboxy open world always blows me away. Like the hunting side quests, the, you know, crafting stuff, the new weapons, the, you know, the this and that is what, you know, it's not the fact that it's like some new, you know, revolutionary gameplay experience. It's the fact that they do what they do so well, I guess. So, you know, I don't know. Far Cry 6 is definitely on my anticipated games list, but that's another one where, you know, once again, as far as release dates, with COVID and everything, you know, I'm not holding my breath for that, you know, but I have less doubt that that will actually come out, you know. So. Anyone else?
Says they're gonna have another Ratchet and Clank, Battlefield, Halo Infinite. There's supposed to be a couple games coming out this year that are.
Ratchet and Clank looks good. Battlefield.
Yes,
Cool.
Gran Turismo, Mass
Halo
Effect.
Infinite's gonna be important. Halo Infinite's the reason why a lot of people are gonna be buying the Xbox when it comes out.
Yep, but it's also coming out for PC. It says. So
well, yeah, everything
that
from
could-
Microsoft has been coming out for PC. It feels like.
yeah.
If they
But
only
to
sell it
think
on their on the Microsoft store though, then they don't have that like 30-70 split like the Steam store does, you know. So for them selling it on the Xbox and selling it on the PC is basically the same amount of profit.
But another thing that comes out with that is it going to be crossplay?
I'd say so, probably. I can't imagine it wouldn't be. Like Sea of Thieves, you know, pretty much anything else releasing on the Microsoft store is. State of Decay, you know. Why not, you know?
Yeah.
Obviously that won't include PlayStation, but it's not coming out there anyway, so.
Yeah.
And even games like, for example, Minecraft, which you do have to purchase through the Microsoft Store for the Bedrock Edition, that still has crossplay with Switch and PlayStation 4. So, I mean, it all depends on the game you're talking about and looking at.
Yeah, that's kind of like the concern I feel like with the Microsoft acquisition of what was it?
Bethesda.
Obsidian? Yeah, Obsidian, Bethesda, and like all those guys. The entire umbrella of Bethesda.
The next Elder
that's
Scrolls might be exclusive to PC and Xbox.
Yeah, and especially like when it was all talked about, I know that Phil Spencer was like basically like, yeah, I mean, we totally could, you know, we could do that.
Yeah, like
So
he's
it's
trying
like-
to pull an older brother, like, you know, trying to punk us
Yeah.
out, like, oh, you think you're gonna get it on PlayStation? Well, I could only release it on Xbox, like.
So it also looks like IGN covered God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah.
So that one's only going to be on PS5. So they say,
Oh,
anyway.
God.
We'll see. I mean, you know, Miles Morales was cross-gen, and I know Sony said that they do want to continue to support the PS4 for the next year or two, you know, going forward. So we'll see. I guess it's going to depend on when it launches and whether or not the PS4 is going to run it like it runs Cyberpunk, you know.
It says 2021 for a release date, so we really don't know of this point. But
if it's out within the next year and Sony keeps, you know, their promises, then I would expect it also releases on PS4.
It's got a couple pictures that come with it. But it says they did do a showcase announcement. So at least it's already announced and it's going to be supported.
I think they announced it at the Game Awards, right?
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, most of us were watching the Game Awards live. Like I think John, Zach, you know, were watching most of it live. And then that was one of the ones where actually I played through 4, and that's how 4 ends. 4 ends with them talking about the start of Ragnarok. So as soon as they started to show God of War, I was like, oh, cool, Ragnarok's here. And that was how they closed the trailer, was with like the half crest and the Ragnarok right on it or whatever. So it was definitely an awesome announcement. I'm excited for that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
If we all get PS5s.
I mean, I don't know, man. I always just about end
No.
up with every game system, even if I end up like selling it off at some point. Like this is probably my third PS4 because I bought one to play Uncharted 4, I sold it. I bought one to play some other game, I sold it, and then I bought one again. You know, so it's like I don't know. I try to get what I can back out of it if I'm not going to be using it for a while. Like I'll probably buy a PS5, try to get it for like as close to retail price as I can, resell it for like $450. You know, take like 10% L on it, and and then try to cop it back for $4. So um, so yeah,
Mhm.
eventually.
Let me look up, see if there's any
I think we're
new
running a
PS5
little
news.
we're running a little long on the on the podcast stream here. I think, to be honest, we've been talking about these 2021 anticipated games for I think longer than most of us expected to, right? I think the
Maybe a little.
next thing on the list was the how the COVID relief bill like was trying to sneakily include a copyrighted like this like some new funky copyright law. And SFD, I'd love the energy. I love where you're going with that. If anything, the stuff that you're looking up right now, just keep a little list between this week and next week and get in next week's episode with it.
Yeah, you got it.
And
Yeah.
but yeah, so the new COVID relief bill, I don't know. I didn't look into this all the way. Somebody might know more than I do. Something about if you stream copyrighted material, the government wants that to be a felony. So like if I was to pull up like, like a song on YouTube that like a #1 on the Billboard Top 100 or something like that, and play the song and the music video full screen, so you could see and hear that music video, which is very clearly copyrighted content, that would be felonious of me to do at that point. Like knowingly doing that would make me on par with people who commit violent crimes and drug dealers and stuff like that, murderers, rapists, So it's an interesting concept. I don't know, but does anybody have more info on like the details on that?
So I read through it a little bit. The long and the short is it's not meant. It still may not hit Twitch or YouTubers as drastically as it sounds. It's more to protect companies from like advertisers or people doing some different things with their material and leave open a door for prosecution if they're doing so. So not so much as the individual, like the streamer or the YouTuber or the Twitch user or anything like that. There's a lot of data. Even AOC got in on a piece of this, saying, this is a 5,000 page bill, and that not one person has had an opportunity to sit down and truly read it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I think we lost Mark a little bit. Shit.
SFD.
So, yeah, an SFD walk away.
I thought it was
walk
me
away.
for a second.
Oh, Mark,
Oh.
you're
All
back.
right, you lost me still?
Welcome
Yeah,
back.
you're
Yes. Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Oh, that's weird. I'm sorry. Where'd you lose me at?
AOC was getting in on it. Nobody's read the 5,000 page bill.
Yeah, so that's there's a lot of conjecture on like what you posted in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
So it says of the 2.3 trillion spending and relief package, which can now be viewed online, includes what Tillis deemed the Protecting Lawful Streaming Act. When it comes to illegal streaming for commercial profit, the bill stipulates that individuals who provide to the public a digital transmission service that is primarily focused on illegal streams will face up to 10 years in prison as well as a fine.
So I'm not going to...
Go on.
I'm not going to name any specific websites, because I don't, like, in case of whoever's listening or watching this, I don't want to get anybody in trouble. But there are certain websites where you can go to watch, like, whole sporting events for free.
Correct.
Like boxing matches, MMA. I see Zach smirking over there. It sounds like this is more targeting those types of websites, I guess, specifically. Because once you broke it down, it sounds like, if you take a pay-per-view and you stream it on a website where you're selling ad space, and all of a sudden you're making money off of this service that you don't have the right to resell, that should be a felony, so...
Yeah, for sure. So it says the version of the law seems to focus on services rather than, say, individual Twitch streamers or YouTubers who might haplessly air a video clip they don't own.
So
Yeah,
less
so
about going after us for playing something on YouTube and more about
yeah.
the big guys doing the big things.
We do not see the need for further criminal penalties for copyright infringement, wrote Meredith Rose, Senior Policy Council of Public Interest for non-public public knowledge. Nonprofit public knowledge. Say that 10 times fast. Jesus.
Right, jeez.
But there's a lot of thickness to it. There's a lot of conjecture that it's just hapless intervention. AOC's not happy with it.
I
but
feel
it
better
seems to
already hearing you break it down, Mark. So thank you.
You're welcome, buddy. So
I live in the
to take a
UK.
deeper look. But I mean, that's the idea. Is it's to hit the big guys. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? That are ripping off some shit, not us being assholes.
That makes sense though. Big guys doing big things. Like, once you said it, and like especially the thing about selling ad space on somebody else's pay-per-view, you're knowingly going out of your way to do that at that point. You're like definitely committing a crime,
You're extra a piece of shit.
for sure.
You
Like,
can definitely tell how different the UK is from the US. We're currently battling a pandemic. You guys are trying to take money and send people to prison for some copyright material.
the government
No, we're
ain't a charity,
we're
Zach.
just trying to send money to overseas for gender
Oh.
whatevers.
Yeah, that's enough.
I like that statehood quarter poster you got up on your wall there, SFD.
Yeah, that was actually something my grandfather did
Nice.
before he passed.
Yeah,
You were a
well,
little
collected
young when
all
those
50.
came out, right? Wasn't the last one in like 2005 or something? Like
2008.
2008? Yeah. So
Yep.
yeah.
Started in 99, went to 2008, and every one of them's up there.
How old were you in 2008?
12. Smile.
God, I'm gonna have to get my calculator out. Holy crap.
So that'd be 12 years ago, 13 years ago.
I was 10.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm gonna puke.
Yeah, I was junior in high school, Mark.
Yeah, I hear you guys. I'm the old man on campus for
How-
those.
Get fucked.
What were you doing 12 or 13 years ago, Mark?
I don't want to say. I plead the fifth.
What year is it right now?
It's 2021.
I was
2008.
4. I was 4 years old.
What was I, 20, 25 or 20, 24 or 25?
15 years ago. Oof.
Yeah. I was 24 or 25.
In 2008, the video games I
Jesus.
was playing, I could tell you some of that. I was playing like Fight Night Round 3 on the Xbox 360, Grand Theft Auto 4 on the Xbox 360.
I was committing heinous acts.
Heinous.
I was a wild man doing cartwheels.
I was
and
playing
back-
Minecraft.
At 4 years old, that's impressive.
Yeah, of course. I'm an alpha.
Yeah. You had it one time. Good for you, Zach. You let the world know, buddy. So
Don't worry about that. That's just me.
Oh,
just me.
you heard it. I don't know how I heard it.
Just me.
Yeah, I don't know whose Bladoot that was. But yeah, I think that's most of what we had for today. Anybody want to add anything? Like plug your streams and stuff like that?
Marky Freeway, NY,
Come follow my
Twitch,
OnlyFans.
Who streams in 2020? Like, fuck 2021.
yeah,
Fuck.
2020.
Well, Zach, you do your YouTube thing. You want to plug that?
I don't do YouTube. I do podcast.
What happened to
Smile.
the video a day challenge you were doing? I saw that fell off pretty quick.
Video daily? Oh, I get too lazy. I like to be the guy who's normally in the back of the videos, who does all the background stuff. I hate being the guy who's at the front having to do all the bitch boy stuff.
Yeah, you
Is it-
do.
Because I have to think about all the ideas, and it's just effort, the idea part.
Hey, we're here to help, bud.
Yeah, man.
You're
you
not
ever
alone.
need content ideas? I'm always free to spitball and bounce ideas off of. So
Oh, I do want to give a plug, if I can.
yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, real quick for mine, follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/LukeThomasNY, or you can go straight to LukeThomasNY.com to watch the stream,
Shit.
to donate,
Forgot
and
about that. We
to
have-
buy merch.
I
There's
forgot we have the
Get
PowerCast
that merch.
There's also merch for the PowerCast. You'll be able to find the link for the merch in the YouTube video description, or probably somewhere on our Twitter and Facebook as well. So we'll make sure to have those links up for you. And Zach loves being the background guy doing the stuff in the background. He'll make sure those links get posted ASAP.
I don't get paid for this bullshit.
Get your stickers.
I haven't even got them yet. My stickers haven't come yet.
Did-
And it's been
That's
like 2
ridiculous.
weeks.
Did P. Gersey mail them out?
Hey Zach, look at the Twitch chat. Look at the Twitch chat.
Loki
Which
said
one?
Facts. That's because you're awkward, Zach. Not gonna lie. Narcolepsy said.
Which one?
In
Oh, well, yeah.
PowerCast.
So listen, I want to give out a shout out to Night Vale. That is something that I just came onto, and I want to tell you that everybody should check it out. Zach hates it, so just like everything else. But I'm gonna say,
What even is Night Vale?
I don't know shit about him, but I
It's
want to give a
horror
shout out to him
radio.
because it is fucking awesome. Check out that shit. 'cause
What is it?
Oh, the
I-
weird,
It's
the
horror
weird.
radio. So do you remember
sleepy
what George
podcast.
Orwell is? Do you know what George Orwell is?
The writer?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
He also did talk show, like way back in the day too. Well, not really talk show, but so he was a radio host, and he would get on to the radio and let me take you back to this
Night
time.
Vale? I guess I still don't understand what
And,
we're even talking about though with the Night Vale. Sorry, I know
It's,
I don't mean
it's
to cut you
basically a
off.
podcast that runs like what's it called? That one thing with the
Here, I got you, bud. Listen, it is the most randomized Twilight Zone type shit.
Oh, Twilight Zone. That's
I
it.
got you,
Mm.
It's
homie.
like-
I got
It's like
you,
a
homie.
podcast about Twilight Zone. It's like
Interesting.
It
and
really
they
is.
lead you through the story with sounds and words and characters.
And it's weird, and it's like it's just randomized. Like, well, for what I can tell, like I've only listened to a couple little episodes, but I will tell you, it is absolutely fantastic. I got a total kick out of it.
Word. I'll
It
have to
does
check
gain
that
some
out.
think you
story
guys
like
might
later
as
on,
well.
but that happens like late in like episode 50 or something. So
I don't know if they trail together. I don't know what they do, but all I can tell you is that I find them deep and ridiculous and fun, and just makes you think about weird random stuff. But shout out to them because they fucking kick ass.
Word. Yeah.
I love their shit. That shit is way good.
Shout out.
I
I
real
just
quick.
gotta point out, Luke's just hugging himself.
Yeah. I
Um,
wish I had some of my merch here.
You got your
It's
picture right
supposed to I do, but my merch isn't actually here.
But it's-
I
Based on that, right?
my ugly mug. You
It'll-
can get that in a mug, a hoodie, t-shirt. Just go to my Twitch and you can link right to my merch pages. Hopefully have some new stuff for you guys. And some new content creation going to come up. I've got some ideas that I'm working on and getting some equipment, and hopefully things will be firing on all cylinders.
I'm gonna give a shout out real quick to my buddy OD McGee. That's ODIEMAGEE on YouTube. He's also on Spotify, iTunes, stuff like that, as far as I know. But he's got a new album out. If you look it up, OD McGee, you can find the whole album right now to listen for free on YouTube and other places where music is available.
Holla at your boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, SFD? Anybody else?
Nope.
Shout out to the fire department for keeping us safe at night.
Yeah.
Hell
Our
yeah.
EMS crew.
24/7.
Yeah.
24/7.
I always hold
Not
it down.
not just at night.
Not just at night, 24/7, all day, every day.
365.
Holidays too.
Yeah.
You call, we come.
Hell yeah.
Wait,
Rain,
what?
sleet, or snow.
same.
Johnny Silverhand makes you come.
Johnny Silverhands.
Here's a funny one. The louder you scream, the faster we come.
Yeah.
Got
him. Got him.
Narcolepsy, shout out to
Shout.
KFC for feeding me.
In Night City, what makes somebody a criminal?
What
Get it.
makes someone a crew? Impressive cock.
Hey, bro. Nice cock.
In Night City, impressive cock makes someone a criminal.
Alrighty.
All right.
Word.
Yeah, drop a follow, turn on
Jesus.
notifications. You can find all of our links in the video description on YouTube if you want to check out our individual channels. Thank you guys so much for watching or listening to PowerCast Episode 3. It's your boy Luke Thomas and Y.
Marky Freeway NY.
SFD firefighter.
Cabbage Cart Man.
Yeah.
The Demon UK.
Yeah. We're saying
Hey.
goodbye, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching.
We're
We're
and
all
listening.
fucking losers. Jesus.
Woo.
Goodbye, y'all. Ah. Okay, now we're over. Jesus.
Wow.
Sorry,
that was a long
I
one.
munched
Holy.
pretty much the entirety of the podcast, but I'm still so hungry I have to go and make food.
I just realized that I was pretty much live most of that time too, and I was not reading my
Yeah.
chat, like any of that.
Yeah, I was. It was really fun.
Cam
It's just
was
nice.
like, "What the fuck is this? It's a podcast, y'all." Jeez,
Oh,
it
and then
says podcast.
Game of Friends, I love you, but you need to stop sending me useless shit. Thank you. He sent me. You know how we use Anchor right now to publish all our podcasts.
Yeah.
He sent me this one called Spreaker.
Are we still streaming? Or is it over now? Let's.
On my end, it is. On yours, it's not.
All right.
Yeah, this thing called Spreaker, and it's for podcast hosting. But guess what? You're already hosting a podcast. Thick off.
Feek off, mate.
I need to take a fat shit now, so smile.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end my stream for now. So if anybody's still watching, hanging out, make sure to follow the PowerCast podcast on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, Facebook. You know, pretty much wherever you prefer. The link is right there in the chat. That fan link will bring you to a list of different links. That way you can pick your favorite platform. Here, I'll show you what that looks like real quick on stream. So you can pick Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, or Facebook right from there. Thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out. It's your boy Luke Thomas and Y saying goodbye for now. I'll catch you later. Peace out.